field, and we've never seen margins like that so early in the Tour de Ski.
We haven't, and what a strategy from Kowalczyk. She wanted to win yesterday, she did, although it was just, but hoovering up the 15-second bonus. She's got this one thought through. Yeah. And into the sprints tomorrow, she's going to maybe pick up another 60-second bonus. Yeah,
I like it. In the press conference after the race yesterday, she said, I don't have any plans for tomorrow. I'll think about it tonight. She knew exactly what she was going to do. She had to just go hard from the start and really just demoralise the rest of the field. And she's done that today. She stays low, still skiing with the same form. It's the engine that she has, Mike, that's so impressive, because technically, both skating and classic, it's not textbook, but my goodness, she just grinds it out.
It's almost like running, Patrick. Look at that. It's just striding up the hill. It's very upright posture, which is giving her the grip, but as you say, the engine is just powering her. She's got phenomenal capacity. Slip at the top there. I think the only weakness we've seen was her first rotation of 3.3 kilometers, and that's where she was doing all the pressing off the track, if you like, the more recent pressing. They didn't really, or should I say, she didn't really make a big impression to separate them.
Well, let's focus on the chasing group for a moment, and both Lehtomäki and Saarinen of Finland are going very well indeed. Good advances from Arianna Follis, who's come up with Mariana Longa as well. The Italians fighting hard. Charlotte Kaller, after that burst a couple of minutes ago, is starting to struggle on the last bit of the climb. She's got to find some energy from somewhere. Teresa Johaug for Norway. Petra Majic on the far side in the bright yellow suit. Far further down in that group than we would have expected, but she's got quite a good sprint, Majic, so watch out for her in the closing stages.
Well, it's the two Finns in second and third. It's, of course, Saarinen, and then also up there is Longa, bib number 24. She's moved the furthest forward.
Lehtomäki of Finland in there as well, alongside Saarinen. Lehtomäki wearing bib number 10. We should be able to pick that out fairly soon. And 22 is Teresa Johaug. The Italians with Mariana Longa wearing 24. She's in that chasing pack. And 17 is Arianna Follis, who just can't stay with her teammate. There's Jakobsen at the back. She's actually done very well, Mike, because she's a much better freestyle skier than she is classic. So to hang on to that chasing group, I know she's lost a couple of seconds, but I think that's a fabulous performance from her.
Yeah, I think Jakobsen has got a real chance here of certainly top three in the Tour overall.
So towards the finish, another 50 metres to go for Justyna Kowalczyk, and the Poles go on producing star after star. They got Marish in the ski jumping, Sikora in the biathlon, but none of them can match Justyna Kowalczyk in the cross country. She wins the second phase, makes it 2 out of 2, and is going to open up a very, very significant gap in the early stages of the Tour de Ski. Now watch the clock, because if she ends up some 45 seconds clear, you can almost say that everyone else is just racing for second place.
That's incredible. It's Lehtomäki who's in second place. Mariana Longa selected the wrong track, but I think she's going to get on the podium.
Yeah, Longa started 24. It's Lehtomäki who gets second, and Longa from 24 all the way up into third. She had a fantastic race last year. She's done it again. Saarinen, who did so much of the work in the chasing group, has to settle for fourth place. Charlotte Kaller, photo finish with her and Arianna Follis. Teresa Johaug of Norway, who started a long way down, has worked very, very well to get herself into the top 10 today. Shakalova stays in the top 10. She started 5th, but is now 37.3 seconds behind, and that is before the bonus seconds are given to those who finished in the top 3. 15 for first, 10 for second, and 5 seconds for third. Astrid Jakobsen, Mike, what do you make of that? She started 3rd, she's finished down in 11th.
I think it's a great performance for Jakobsen. She said she wasn't looking forward so much to the classic technique races, but she's done well.
Anna Haag gains 5 places to finish in 14th. Ishida of Japan, that's an astonishing run from her. She's now just 1 minute 16 down, having started way off the pace, so she's had a really good run, and it would be nice to see her continue. She started 48, 44 seconds behind, so she's done well. Kickin Randall has lost a little bit of ground for the United States, and Kickin Randall started, just looking at her start position today, it's vanished.
16th.
16th.
Marta Elden, the young Norwegian there, but she's moved well forward from start position 51. She's up in the 30s.
Ilyina, someone you told us to watch out for yesterday, down in 33rd, almost 2 minutes behind. She will be 2 minutes behind once the adjustments are made. So she is going to have to produce a very, very impressive sprint tomorrow to get back on terms with the leading group.
The best of the Russians, Patrick, in 10th position is Shekaleva. I thought we'd see some of Ilyina, you mentioned. I thought some of the other Russians would be up there in the top 15. Poor day for them.
Jean of France outside the top 40. Natsumi in a photo finish for 40th and 41st. And Katrin Smutner of Austria, 43rd position, 2:29 behind. Now that is almost 900 metres off the pace, maybe 850 metres off the pace of the leaders, and a massive margin to make up in the next few phases. So that's 2 phases complete, another 6 to go over the next 8 days, Mike, but they've got a bit more racing to do before they get a rest day.
Well, they have. They've got another 2 days of racing down in Oberstdorf, and I'm just wondering, when everyone gets their breath back, they'll have a look at the scoreboard and they'll think, blimey, second place is 37 seconds behind Kowalczyk. Then Kowalczyk's going to get another 15 seconds bonus for winning. They'll be thinking, well, maybe we're all fighting for second place here.
You know what I'm thinking? What a shame that Marit Bjørgen decided to sit out the Tour de Ski, because she may have been the only person who could challenge Justyna Kowalczyk, and that would have been a fascinating battle. I quite appreciate why Marit Bjørgen doesn't want to do it. She's got the World Championships on home snow up in Oslo. That's where she wants to shine this year. But this sort of an event needs the world #1.
I think it does, and I understand the reasons why Marit Bjørgen, it worked for her last year, her 3 gold medals and, what was it, 1 silver medal at the Olympics. In fact, 5 medals at the Olympics, and that's because she missed this Tour de Ski. It takes a huge amount of energy over 10 days, and it worked last year. She wants to stick with that routine.
Does Bjørgen's absence make Kowalczyk's victory a little bit hollow?
I don't think so, to be honest, because Kowalczyk, you mentioned, she has the strongest mind. She's just got a huge capacity for competition, and on a day-to-day, head-to-head with Marit Bjørgen, I'm not sure about Bjørgen. This day-to-day, continual head-to-head.
Yeah, it's been her weakness in the past. We saw that, but I think you have to respect the fact that she now knows her body well enough to be able to produce consistently good results. And the one thing she doesn't want to do is to have a slide down the form level like she had in 2006.
I think she's doing the right thing, Marit Bjørgen, and well, we might see the magic again for the World Championships as she did at the Olympics.
Well, she had a massive lead in the World Cup race coming into the Tour de Ski, but of course with her being absent and Kowalczyk already picking up 100 points from the first 2 races, that lead is going to vanish very, very quickly indeed. And it'll be interesting to see whether Bjørgen can do enough in the second phase of the season to hold on or challenge for the overall World Cup win come the end of the season. There's the day's winner. Justyna Kowalczyk did absolutely nothing wrong. She had a very tough first lap because she had slightly slower conditions. That's not what you want to do with a pair of race skis. I'm not sure Fisher will be too happy with that.
Well, the visibility with the fog, it's so typical for Oberhof, and in the past we've seen biathlon races being cancelled up here because it's so normal to get foggy, misty conditions like this.
Well, incidentally, the biathlon tour coming here later on the 4th of January. I think the first racing day. We'll confirm that later on, and that's the event of the year. And of course, it's the first round of biathlon World Cups since Christmas, and the start of phase 2, where so many of those who've underperformed in the early stage of the season tend to come through, particularly the Germans, because they're back on home snow with massive support. 50 points, another 5,000 Swiss francs in the bank for Justyna, and I think she'll be happy with her day's work. She obviously slept well last night, never looked like getting caught today.
Yeah, invincible. Today was all about Kowalczyk. She looked very tense on the first 3 kilometers, but she got into her routine and didn't care about anyone else. You mentioned the Germans, Patrick. First that I see on my list so far is 29th with Katrin Zeller. I think the men will do much better in the race just coming up.
Well, the men's race is going to be fascinating with Marcus Hellner, who starts first. He knows that his one weakness is his classic technique, and that's what he's got to race today, over 15 kilometres. And, of course, he starts first. We've got Pochikov and we've got Petter Northug, who's close enough to make a challenge. Northug's going to make that race exciting, Mike, because he knows, just like we all know, that if he's in contention with a kilometre to go, he's the hot favourite. Mariana Longa, third place, and pretty good odds on that happening today.
I believe it was around the 17 to 1, 20 to 1 odds for Mariana Longa to move from 22 up onto the podium. So she's done very well.
So Poland celebrating another success in winter sport. Number 10, Lehtomäki of Finland, a star to watch out for. She's young, she's aggressive, and she's shown today that she is immensely talented. Couldn't match Kowalczyk, but certainly she timed it right, got the tactics absolutely right in that chase pack.
And Saarinen, on the other hand, as we watch Kowalczyk's cornering again, Saarinen, on the other hand, I thought she was the one who was going to even challenge for first today. She tried, she wasn't able to close down Kowalczyk, but she just faded Saarinen in the last 100 metres to finish fourth.
Yeah, again, a great race from you. Where did you get this motivation to ski all the way in front?
This was my tactic, to go very fast in the start, and then what will happen I will see, but I was still really good. My ski was perfect and I was fighting only.
How was the conditions on the course?
It was really good condition, a good track, and no snowing. It was really good.
For tomorrow we have the sprint. What's your plan there?
If I remember good, the track in Oberhof is really hard, and I hope I will be fighting for a good place.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
Thanks.
Interesting, if I remember, the track there is very hard, so I'll be fighting. She knows the harder the track, the better it is for her.
Yeah, the steeper, the longer the climbs, the more likely it is that Kowalczyk will come out on top. Just look at the timings now with the adjustments made. Charlotte Kalla now is 35 seconds behind. She's not a brilliant sprinter, Charlotte Kalla, so she's made life very difficult for herself. Johaug's still in there, but likewise not really strong enough to do well in the sprints. In fact, not sure the adjustments were made on that one, Mike. We'll add that. Kicking around and down in 22nd, 137 behind.
It's still not bad for the American. First time she's taken part. She can really move up tomorrow in the sprint races.
No withdrawals as of yesterday. Of course, we mentioned Sackenbacher, who didn't start yesterday because of illness, but there may be one or two who were too slow to qualify for phase 3 of the Tour de Ski. It will be some time before that information comes out officially, as the lead athletes from today head to the podium, and it's Justyna Kowalczyk who started first and finished first. So she has a very, very healthy lead in this year's Tour de Ski.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the winner ceremony for the second stage of the 2010-2011 FIS Tour de Ski. Performance by Craft Sportwear in the ladies' 10 kilometers classical technique handicap start. Please welcome the winning athlete.
I think the MC's come straight out the boxing ring to present Justyna to the crowd. She looks slightly bemused.
Well, you mentioned the boxing match. There was a little bit of niggle out there on the track when you got 57 athletes within a minute. There was a bit of pushing and shoving.
So what a great day for her. Closes the gap down in the World Cup standings on Marit Bjørgen. She adds to her Christmas fund, which has already been pretty healthy. And of course, she has just opened up. It's a significant margin. It allows her to use different tactics as the tour goes on. What's so important, Mike, is that she doesn't exhaust herself. We all thought she was going to collapse after last year's Tour de Ski, which she won. But no, she stayed strong for a couple of weeks, but wasn't on her best form when she went to the Olympic Games. So she is human.
She is, and you mentioned the first race at the Olympics, she finished in 5th position. Normally we would have expected her to win the race or come in the top 2. And I think it was the price you pay for taking these very difficult 10 days.
But now with this margin that she's established, she can say, okay, I have to go hard in the sprints, but when it comes to the distance races, she can play it a little more tactically to save